Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now we know what you're thinking, probably something along the lines of, not another one of these presentations that'll bore me to death. Well, guess what? That is not what's going to happen. Prepare to enter a world of understanding and enjoyment as we take you on a step-by-step process through thermogenic decoupling and what they do for you.
That's right, Dom. But I think we should focus on scope for the audience a little bit. How about we get specific and look into dientrophenol, more commonly known as DNP. Just like all good presentation, a review is mandatory. So let's take a look at photosynthesis.
Right, James. Photosynthesis occurs in autotrophs, a fancy word for cell feeders, which refers to plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. These cell feeders will use photosynthesis to survive, which includes the conversion of energy into ATP and glucose. Remember, energy is never created, just converted. So for autotrophs, it involves converting energy from the sun into ATP and sugar. This light energy, water, and carbon dioxide are all parts of an equation in photosynthesis to make glucose, ATP, and oxygen. This being the common understanding of photosynthesis.
Right, but we're not here to explain things people already know.
Yeah, let's take a look at what's really happening between these steps. Photosynthesis occurs in this thing called the chloroplast, little green organelles within the plant, which happen to be the reason why plants are green. There are also the thylakoids within chloroplasts, which look like little green coils where the sunlight is absorbed in order to perform the light reaction. On the exterior of the leaf, the bottom to be exact, we can find the stroma. There are little pores in the plant where the Calvin cycle occurs. It also controls the amount of oxygen released and carbon dioxide accepted.
Wait, Dom. What does the light reaction and Calvin cycle have anything to do with it?
Well, James, photosynthesis actually has two parts to it. The plant will use both light reaction and the Calvin cycle to produce sugar, ATP, and oxygen. It works very similar to our cells during cellular respiration. In fact, both plants and animals use the electron transport chain to make ATP. Cellular respiration and photosynthesis actually work with each other, one making the products of the other. Plants give us vital sugars and oxygen to sustain our life, just like we give them water and carbon dioxide.
Oh, this is how we get into thermogenic decoupling agents. I remember now. In fact, the body has its own within brown fat cells that act as decoupling agents to control the amount of heat released instead of ATP produced.
Correct. Let's look at the decoupling process. During the decoupling process, protons are moved across the mitochondrial membrane instead of coupling with oxidative phosphorylation, resulting in energy being converted to heat instead of ATP. While sometimes necessary, this process is very delicate and should never be abused. Babies actually have more of these agents in their brown fat cells to keep them warm. The thermogenics found in humans are controlled, unlike DNP. Unfortunately, the thermogenic decoupling agent, DNP, was first discovered to raise people's metabolisms. It was originally used in making dyes, pesticides, and explosives. Cutting and Tainter, two scientists at Stanford University, found that DNP could be used to increase metabolic rate. By the 1930s, DNP found its way into diet pills in the U.S. While effective at raising one's metabolism, they forgot about the consequences thermogenic decoupling agents can have on our cellular respiration.
Oh no! Having too much DNP must cause an excess of energy being converted to heat instead of ATP.
Right, which can cause some serious problems. The result of DNP's toxicity to the human body can cause sweating, headaches, and dizziness. Enough DNP and it can cause skin lesions, cataracts, hypothermia, damage to bone marrow, to the central nervous system, and worst case scenario to the cardiovascular system, resulting in death. Because of all these side effects, the new weight loss pills were rarely used by the late 30s. To go more in depth, for those of you who are curious about the process of DNP on our bodies, I'm your man.
Looking more in depth on DNP, we can see the uncoupling process of oxidative phosphorylation by the transportation of hydrogen ions across the mitochondrial membrane. DNP will attach to a hydrogen ion at the cristae. Because it is hydrophobic, it easily passes through the mitochondrial membrane. The extra hydrogen molecules find its way into the electron transport chain, where it needs oxygen to bond with, which results in an increase in demand for oxygen and also increases water output. This is what causes the side effect of sweating. Another consequence in the DNP transportation of hydrogen ions is that it reduces the concentration gradient, which is what causes ATP production in the electron transportation. These negative effects cause the body to speed up its metabolism, trying to make more ATP. Making sense now? This is why people lose weight. More calories are used trying to make ATP, which can be produced, but due to DNP's negative effects on the concentration gradient, it can't. To connect everything in this presentation and summarize it up, photosynthesis will produce necessary components to allow cellular respiration to take place. Natural thermogenic decoupling agents will control the amount of ATP and heat being produced during cellular respiration. but abused with an unnatural substance like DNP in our bodies, it will produce more heat and less ATP and raise our metabolism, resulting in harmful side effects. Thanks for watching.